Good morning, Facebook friends. Thanks for joining me for the conclusion of having a heart like Jesus. We've looked at having a heart of compassion. We've looked at having a heart of forgiveness and a bunch of other things, like a heart that dwells within him, and worship. As we looked at Sunday morning sermons were about that. We looked at having hope and how he had hope for what was to be. We looked at our understanding that there's a battle for our heart and that we need to remain pure. So this morning, what I'd like to do is to share with you about remaining focused to that which is most important, and why we want a heart of hope and purity and compassion and forgiveness, why we'd want to dwell in him. And it comes down to what he was focused on. And so we want to look at having a heart that's focused because Jesus was focused. The first reason he came to this earth was to glorify his heavenly Father. The second reason he came, it says that he came to seek and to save the lost. And the third reason he said he came was because he came not to be served, but to serve. And boy, that focus for us, those things are absolutely in line with why we're here. Why did God put us on the face of this earth? He wanted a relationship with us, and he wanted a relationship where we would live for him and glorify him. And so there's millions of people that are missing the purpose that they're here on this earth. I once had one of the baseball players I coached come up, and he was a wise guy and a wise guy and a smart guy. And he come up and was being funny, and he said to me, "Hey, Coach D, what's the meaning of life?" And I said to him, I can tell you that. I can tell you that. And earlier he'd asked me things about the pyramids of Egypt and how they were built and anything just to get me going. And that particular day he said, "What's the meaning of life?" And I knew exactly what it was. And sometimes we forget the meaning of life, that God placed us here to be in relationship with him, that he would be glorified, and that he could use us to seek and to save the lost, and that we would serve and not just look to be served. So we need to focus on that, because oftentimes we get distracted in this world from that which is most important. We get distracted for our for personal things, our possessions and our belongings, the position that we might have of power or authority, that it's about us, and we lose that focus. Then sometimes in the world, maybe it's not about us, maybe it's not so personal where we get distracted and lose our focus, but it can even be worldwide kind of things, like a pandemic, where many of us as believers, we sort of got distracted by mask, no mask, social distancing, vaccine, don't vaccine, and all of those things got in the way of having a heart of compassion and a heart of hope and a heart of dwelling in him. And we find that causes us to have some angst within our lives where there's not peace about it. And that distraction can come, quite honestly, because the devil wants to distract us. It's sort of like this, our distractions. You're going about what you need to do, and we get distracted from what's important. For example, how many of you have ever started your spring house cleaning, or just you're redding up and you're putting things away, and clothing you haven't worn for a while you're getting rid of? But anyway, you get to the closet and you look in, there's this box, and you hadn't seen that for a while, and you thought, well, what's in that? And you open it up, and then you take the next hour and a half, 2 hours sifting through these things. You've been distracted. What you meant to do was to organize, and you now take 2 hours with things that may be enjoyable, but have distracted you from the purpose. Spiritually, that happens to us as well. Sometimes this pastor gets distracted by folks that may not be as happy with things and the way they're going. We get distracted by, oh, maybe that wasn't as effective as I could have been with my ministry. And we get distracted by self-evaluation, by our own desires and wants, just by the world. And so here's what I want to do today. I want to close our service time, our sermon time, if you will, from the blogs, about having a heart like Jesus, to refocus, to focus. What does God have for me? Why am I on the face of this earth? Why does he want me to have a heart of hope, a heart of compassion, a heart that dwells with him? Why would he want me to have a heart of perseverance? because it's for his honor and his glory and my good. Why does he want me to seek the lost and to share with them? Why would he want me to do that? Well, for God's glory and their good. And why would we serve? Because of his glory and our good. It's amazing when we serve, the great blessings that come to that. So today, just wanted to share with you as we close out having a heart like Jesus, that you and I might remain focused and not let the world distract us from that which is most important. God bless you in Jesus.